Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's me, Reformed Bad Boy Dryden Joss, here with another show. This is going to be a bit of an experiment tonight. This is going to be more of a podcast-esque show, which, speaking of podcasts, it's going to be up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and pretty much everywhere else that you can find podcasts. So look for it there. Leave a review. That would be very appreciated. But tonight, I just wanted to, first of all, make a video. Oh my goodness. I want to make a video. I want to talk about a few different things, and none of it correlates. And you add that all together, and what do you get? A podcast. So that's what we're doing today. A little bit more of relaxed, a little bit casual. That's okay. Like I said, I've been busy. I drove 3,500 miles last week within the span of 6 days for work. 3,500 miles alone. So I've been busy. I've been tired, but I'm still very active. In my life, my social life is great, hanging out with lots of friends. Family's going to be in town next week, so it's a good time. I'm having a great time. Multiple Bible studies a week, men's prayer on the mornings, church, of course, and lots of work. So it's good. It's good for me. But tonight there was a few different things I wanted to talk about, and none of it correlates, like I said, so let's get right into it. One of the first things I want to talk about is social media usage. About 4 weeks ago, so a little over a month now, I deleted all my social media. I still have the accounts, but I deleted the social media off my phone, and I did a dopamine detox for a week. So I went a whole week without listening to podcasts, music, YouTube videos, movies, TV. That's about it. I mean, social media, that was the big one. And dopamine detox, and what I wanted was to stop seeking pleasure every single second of the day. I found myself in this loop of always checking my phone, always needing to distract myself with music or a podcast or something in the car, driving, at work, whatever. And I never had any time to just wind down, relax, unwind, and relax, and actually think. It's good to be bored sometimes. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get back to where a simple cup of coffee with some cream and sugar would give me dopamine and some oxytocin, as opposed to constant music and podcasts and videos all within reach very quickly on my phone. So I have to say it's very good. I still have not re-downloaded social media, and actually on top of that, on my desktop I can access social media, so I blocked it. So I can't access my social media at all. Social media meaning primarily Instagram and Twitter. That's all I use. I'm not going to get Be Real because I'm trying to get off social media. So pretty much the only social media I have, if you can consider it a social media, is YouTube. But that's more of a viewing platform than a social media. But I had to get off of it, and I had to stop lying to myself and telling myself that it's okay for me to have social media because I make videos and I need to advertise and promote them and be this sort of guy, content creator sort of guy. But it's a lame excuse if that's your excuse to have social media when you might promote something and that takes a couple minutes and then you scroll for 3 hours on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or whatever. It's a huge waste of time, and I was kidding myself telling myself that I could handle it, but I can't, which is why I deleted it, and that's totally okay. I've been feeling better. Something that's nice that has come out of this is when I talk to someone in real life, when I see them at church or the next Bible study or whatever, I don't know what they've been up to because I haven't seen their story on Instagram. So they have to tell me, and then they don't know what I've been up to, so I have to tell them, and we can have this thing that old people used to have called conversations. And that's very enjoyable, very fun. I really like conversing with people. Speaking of, little side note, there's a lot of haters in my comment section on YouTube all the time. You guys have access to me. If you want to talk to me via Discord, I'm not going to give you my number, But you can reach me. There are ways to reach me. I would love to talk to you and answer your questions. Any questions, as long as you're respectful, I'll be respectful to you. That's what I'm offering up here. But back to social media. Social media is a really good tool, but so is a knife. A knife is a very good tool, but it can cut you. It can cause you to bleed, and it can kill you, just like social media. Social media is really good. You can spread the word of God. You can spread God's truths. You can spread positivity. But most likely what's being spread is negativity. And then it also, people are going to become jealous and envious of other people. And there's going to be a growing amount of body dysmorphia and just self-hatred, which is not good. And just like a knife, social media can kill you. There's been a rise of teen suicide ever since social media was started back in, early 2013 or so. So I'm just going to read these for you. This is from the New York Post. Just some quick, simple things for us to think about. Teens' use of electronic devices, including smartphones, for at least 5 hours daily more than doubled from 8% in 2009 to 19% in 2015. Those teens were 70% more likely to have suicidal thoughts or actions than those who reported 1 hour of daily use. So what we can see from that, and causation, correlation, all that sort of thing, this isn't a given rule, but the more social media usage that you have, the more likely these teenagers were likely to have suicidal thoughts and actions. In 2015, 36% of all teens reported feeling desperately sad or hopeless, or thinking about planning or attempting suicide, up from 32% in 2009. For girls, the rates were higher, 45% in 2015 versus 40% in 2009. In 2009, 58% of the 12th grade girls who use social media every day or nearly every day. By 2015, 87% use social media every day or nearly every day. They were 14% more likely to be depressed than those who use social media less frequently. So this is a real issue. I mean, we can see this, that people in droves have rapidly expressed desire in committing self-harm or attempting suicide, or actually following through with suicide, and it's because of social media. Now, is social media inherently the problem? No. I think what we're seeing here is an exposed, long exposure to social media, to viewing people who are putting their best out there is going to make you feel bad about what's your normal. But I can promise you, those people that are putting out their best, that's not them 100% of the time. That's not their life always. So for young girls, I think what's going on is they're seeing women that are prettier than them. They're seeing women that have had photoshopped bodies, and they've had actual surgeries done to their bodies. And so little girls are seeing this. And when I say little girls, I mean 14-year-olds, young teen girls are seeing this, comparing themselves to them and saying, I can never be that right now, which is true because you're still developing. And then they're more likely to commit suicide from that. That is a terrible thing. Now, I think the boys have not necessarily a body dysmorphia issue when it comes to social media. I think guys look at big, swole guys like Chris Bumstead, and they go, oh my goodness, I need to hit the gym. I rarely hear about guys who have such bad body dysmorphia that they want to commit suicide or attempt suicide. That does exist, but I'm telling you right now that generally it's more for girls than it is for guys. Guys and girls are different. Now, guys, this is more along the lines of another reason why I wanted to delete social media and end up doing it, is because I want to have pure eyes and a pure mind and a pure heart. So let me read this verse for you, and then I'll correlate it to what I'm talking about. This comes from Matthew 6, verse 22, says, the eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the darkness in you is darkness, or if then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? So I think the key word here, key phrase, is, so if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Now, this was more of my issue, but a reason why I deleted social media is because of how tempting it is to lust after very attractive women. When you're on your phone, when you're alone, let's be honest here, you can gaze upon anything with your eyes. You can look at whatever you want as long as you want. And look, we're all big boys here. We're big boys and big girls here, so we can speak honestly about this. Again, my podcast being point blank, I'm going to tell you guys point blank. If there is a good-looking booty on your screen, you can look at that for as long as you want, and no one's going to know. But it is going to fill up your heart, and it's going to fill up your mind with lust, and that is going to lead you down a dark road to being discontent about where you're at in life. It is not good. It's not good to be lusting after anyone that you find attractive like that. It's not good for you because you can't have it. That person's on a screen. You can't actually have her. That bikini model, you can't actually have her. You can look at her all you want, but that is going to fill you up with a discontentment. It's going to fill you up with guilt and shame, and you're going to have to get rid of that somehow. The best way to get rid of it is to confess it to Jesus Christ, repent of your sins, confess your sins because he is just and he will forgive you, and then move on. But if you are constantly tempting yourself by constantly lusting after women on social media, I would tell you right now, I strongly urge you to delete social media. It is not worth it. Even for me, someone who, like I was saying earlier, I claim to use social media as this tool to spread my videos and everything. I'm kidding myself. I don't need it. People will find the videos. That's fine. I don't need to worry about that. I'll make my videos. I'll upload them to YouTube, but I don't need to be on social media. Something else that I think adds to this, and this is completely different than what I was talking about earlier with the lust or with what I brought up earlier, the body dysmorphia, and that is the practice of omnipresence. So when we talk about God and how he's omnipotent, all powerful, we also talk about how he's all present, meaning he's everywhere all at once. And that's because God knows everything. There's nowhere we can hide from him. If we go to the shadows, he's still there. If we go into the light, he's still there. God is everywhere all at once. He knows everything. People were not built to be like that. People constantly consuming media and they have thousands of followers and they're viewing hundreds of stories a day and they're learning about things that are happening in countries that are so far away. It doesn't really matter to your life. We're not built to handle that. We are not able to be omnipresent like God is. And I think social media has given us a taste of that ability that we're not supposed to have. Because it overwhelms us and it causes anxiety. Just like I was reading earlier. I have another article here. This is from the McLean Harvard Medical School affiliate, whatever that is. But let's look at this. According to Pew Research Center, 69% of adults and 81% of teens in the U.S. use social media. This puts a large amount of the population at an increased risk of feeling anxious, depressed, or ill over their social media use. But what makes them sick? Why do they what makes the users come back for more, even when it can literally make them feel sick? When the outcome is unpredictable, the behavior is more likely to repeat. Think of a slot machine. If game players knew they were never going to get money playing the game, they would never play. The idea of a potential future reward keeps machines in use. The same goes for social media. One does not know how many likes a picture will get, who will like the picture, and when the picture will receive likes. The unknown outcome and the possibility of desired outcome can keep users engaged with the sites. This is a problem. If you're constantly checking your phone, if you're constantly checking your story to see who liked your story, who looked at your story. I remember posting stories and then hoping that a girl would reply to it or that she would see it and like it. And then I could go, maybe I can talk to this girl. It's not a healthy place to be in, and it's going to cause anxiety because you're going to be worrying about things that you have no control over. So it'd be better to not worry about it, and something that you can do to help with that is, one, decrease your social media usage or just limit it to, 30 minutes a day or something. Limit it crazy. Or what you could do the easy way, if you know that you can't control yourself, is delete it. Get off of it. There's so many people in my life that I know, and I have no idea what's going on in their life, and that's okay. That is okay. They'll be okay. I'll be okay. The next time I see them, it'll be like a happy little reunion, and that's going to be great. One other thing from this is FOMO, the fear of missing out, also plays a role. If everyone else is using social media sites, and if someone doesn't join in, there's a concern that they'll miss jokes or connections or invitations. I can tell you this right now, having not used social media for the past 4 weeks. I have it blocked. I have the websites, Instagram. I can't even see it on my computer. It's blocked. I have no way to get it unless I download it, but I'm not going to do that. I can tell you right now, having not had social media for the past 4 weeks, people are still inviting me all the time to things. I go to 2 Bible studies a week. I do another hangout another night. I have men's prayer Wednesday mornings. I go to 2 different Bible study. 2 different church services. I'm busy. I have a very active social life. And what's cool is that I haven't seen somebody's story, so I can talk to them. They can talk to me. We can get together, have conversations. So that's what I wanted to talk about social media. I just don't think that it's necessarily for everyone. I especially don't think it's for children. And I think it's terrible for teenagers. Go do things in person. Let's bring that back. Next thing I want to get to is this clip. Let's watch it together real quick. And then we'll talk about it a bit. So I have this here. This is Ryan Trahan. I really hope I pronounced that right. But Ryan Trahan. I've watched his YouTube videos a couple times. I might even be subscribed to him. I mean, he's kind of cool. I've watched him before. Seems like a nice guy. Let's watch this clip because I have seen this pop up in Christian YouTube a bit. So let's watch it together.
Biggest thing, which is probably the most important thing to me.
Tell me, Ryan. I'm ready.
Haley is Christian, and when we started dating, I was not. I was atheist, cynical atheist even. Whenever I would talk to Christians, I was always very questioning their beliefs. I started dating Haley, and I would ask her questions like that, very hard questions, and I wanted to really challenge her because I loved her so much. I didn't want her to have this false view of reality. Conversation after conversation, she was very gracious with me, and she answered questions fairly logically. I would always look up debates and find.
You would try to debate her. Yeah. You're I'm gonna slam dunk on you.
And I would what I realized though is my heart yearned for an answer. I realized it all came from a place of non-closure with my grandma. I just really want to know. This basically culminated to this day, July 4th, 2020. This is when my YouTube channel was doing very well. I had almost 2 million subscribers. I was making more money than I ever dreamed of. I was giving it all I had, and I received everything I thought I wanted. And so on July 4th, 2020, I was with Haley, we were watching the fireworks, and I started weeping. I started sobbing my eyes out. And I realized it's because I felt like I hadn't felt anything for 3 weeks. This was my finish line. All my identity is in this, and I feel nothing. Fireworks are representative of a celebration, you know? And it was a crazy juxtaposition of I should be celebrating right now. I love this girl that I'm with. I have everything I've ever wanted. Why do I feel empty? And it was crazy, dude. And I realized I need to go on a spiritual pursuit. I started taking a lot less cynical approach towards asking questions, just starting to pray and starting to ask myself what do I believe? And ultimately I did land on Jesus, and I started developing a relationship with God. I can't believe I'm saying that, bro, because I literally would have absolutely clowned on myself 3 years ago. Whenever I started looking at who Jesus was and even the things he said and the things he taught, it realized wow, this is so loving, and if I can potentially have a relationship with him, I'm just gonna try. And now it is my source of joy. It is my source of love. It is my source of everything. Because I have that, I can go out into the world and do onto others what I feel I already have. It's real. I can't lie about who I am.
Yeah.
And I can't lie about where I get the source of joy and positivity.
Yeah.
Because it's actually such a disservice to people that watch.
So that's good. That's really good stuff. It's really happy to hear such a mainstream, pretty big YouTuber, mainstream YouTuber, convert to Christianity and just be saved. And that's really good to hear. I'm very happy for him. I'm happy for his now wife. and their relationship together. That's really good. I hate to be the bad guy, but I do need to be the bad guy. I have nothing wrong with this. The love of Jesus Christ is real. It is beyond what you could fathom. He gives us purpose. If you read Ecclesiastes, Solomon's talking about how everything's vain and everything's pointless. And he literally says, everything's just, it's meaningless without God, without Jesus Christ. Now, here's why I say and preface this with, I hate being the bad guy here, is because a lot of people will hear this about the love of Christ and everything, and that's all they'll talk about, but they won't talk about the lordship of Christ. Now, I'm not talking about Ryan here. This was great. This was really great. But if you read the comments section, this is where things get a little concerning. Let me find one here. I'm an agnostic, and hearing this comes from Lethy, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm agnostic, and hearing Ryan's journey with faith, and then Anthony's off of that, just made me so happy because I've always been around Christians who hate, and Ryan just helps me see that that's what Christians can be. So this person's saying, there's been a lot of Christians I know that hate, and Ryan is a nice guy, he's a loving guy, he's a kind guy. That's amazing. That's really good. Here's the issue, though, is I have to wonder, these Christians that this person is saying that just hate, would that person put me in the same camp as those Christians? Am I that Christian to them? The one that just hates? Because something I try to really hone in on constantly in my videos is that I do not hate anyone. I do this, I make these videos out of love. And that's really, I know that's strange to you guys, and opposite of what you think it is. You think I'm calling for people to hate on you, but I'm not. I love you guys. I love everyone. Which is why I want to see them saved eternally from their sin that has separated them from an all-loving, perfect Father, a perfect God. Does that make sense? Because what I'm afraid is going to happen is a lot of people are going to go, wow, Jesus is very loving. He lets me do whatever I want. And that's not how Jesus works. Jesus literally said, if you love me, you will obey my commandments. Do you know the commandments? Don't get drunk. No homosexuality. No transgendering. No murder. Everyone says, of course murder is bad. Abortion. I'm talking abortion. No murder. No rape. No incest. There's a long list of things that are no-nos in the Bible. And I'm seen as hated. I'm seen as a hater when I point these out. And I'm doing this to help you guys. I'm doing this not because I'm better than you. I'm deserving of the same punishment of you, eternal damnation. But Christ stepped in and substituted himself for me. And it can be the same way for you guys. So everyone's going to look at Ryan and go, wow, he's so loving and kind. And then they turn and look at me and they say, I'm a hater. Now, I'm not complaining, but I want you guys to start questioning things. Just question that for yourself. Let me quickly look through, see if I can find another comment. I'm going to give myself 10 seconds. You guys can comment down below a question right now or something. I don't know. Glad he wasn't afraid to speak on his faith. That's super good. really refreshing to hear the revelation that Ryan has through Christ. The whole video is amazing. The spiritual pursuit is the best part. Yeah. He's so humble and wholesome. What a beautiful story. He's a genuine Christian. Yeah. These same commenters, if he starts spouting off just Bible verses that say, hey, no homosexuality, you think of 1 Corinthians 6:9, that homosexuals and effeminates don't inherit the kingdom of God, would they still call him a true Christian? That is my question to you. Anyway, the next thing I want to get to, this is a little bit of a lighter topic for my next segment here, is milk, actually. I drink milk every single day. I drink whole milk, and I try to get the least pasteurized milk I can find. And currently what I've been hooked on is A2 milk. I drink it at work. I drink it in the heat of day when I'm sweating at work. I drink it at night. I drink it all the time. I make my own cultured kefir milk. It's really good. Tons of probiotics. And people keep making fun of me for it. So what? I drink milk out of the carton. Okay? So what? It's good. It's delicious. Okay, sorry. I'm drinking one of the oldest the land of milk and honey. Cut me some slack, okay? Milk is good. Milk is very good. I drink it all the time. Delicious, nutritious, amazing. There's a lot of people that are self-diagnosed lactose intolerant, and I believe them-ish. I don't want to cast out. But I've been looking into milk and researching a little bit more. There is a big problem in the milk industry. Let me read this here. I drink A2 milk, just like I was saying earlier. You may have heard about the A2 beta casein protein in the news lately. Research has shown that a percentage of the population finds difficulty digesting regular milk that contains both A1 beta casein and A2 beta casein. In trials, some people who had difficulty digesting milk had not been diagnosed with lactose intolerance or dairy protein allergy were able to more easily digest milk with 2 copies of the A2 protein without discomfort. Milk that contains 2 copies of the A2 protein is produced by cows whose DNA naturally possess the ability to make 2 copies instead of the A1-A2 combination. So blah, 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 blah. Basically what it comes down to is if you're lactose intolerant and you miss milk, try A2 milk. It might help you. You might not be lactose intolerant. You might just be drinking a weird milk mutation, which is called A1-A2 milk. But what you need is A2 milk. Now, if you don't like milk and your family doesn't really drink it, I'd suggest trying it again. And try to drink whole milk. The dangerous one, the one with all the fats. Guess what? The fats are good for you. Fat is not bad for you. It's good for you. You need fats. You need healthy fats. So that was just my little thing. I want you guys to drink more milk. I drink lots of milk. It's delicious and nutritious. Not sponsored, by the way. Now, next segment of the show. Again, thank you if you've made it this far. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and leave a comment because I'm reading the comments right now. Welcome to the comment section. Pretty much all of my comments are very mean because a big YouTuber by the name of Noah Fince, she reacted to one of my videos. I reacted to one of hers, and then she reacted to that video, and then I cut it. I said, I'm not reacting anymore. I'm done. All of her followers have attacked me very maliciously on my YouTube channel. It hurts, honestly. Like I read the comment and I'm just so in pain from these comments. It's very painful. The serious threats, from these 14-year-old people who follow this trans girl. Here we go. This comment is very confusing. It's from Cam. Every time I read the word her here, the pronoun her, it's referring to me. This guy is misgendering me on purpose. So let's read this comment together. Right here. Let me zoom in. Beep, 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 beep. I found the worst YouTuber ever. The funny thing is that this man, quote unquote, ain't even stepping up against the majority of the comments that are saying the truth, which is that Dryden is terribly in the wrong. Instead, she, meaning me, pins another useless, mindless, God-fearing Christian who agrees with her and nothing else, me. Also, Christians aren't a minority. I'm a Christian, and my parents are Christians. 90% of the people I know are Christians. I have zero respect for this dude, and Dryden, she, could seriously learn to respect people's pronouns. I'm seriously losing faith in my religion because of mindless people like Dryden. How strong is your faith that someone who reads from the Bible makes you lose faith in your religion? You know, I read something Jesus said, and you go, that's not Christ-like. You know, I read from God's holy word, and you go, I'm losing faith in this religion. What do you have faith in? You call yourself a Christian? Why? Why? Why are you a Christian? Doesn't make any sense to me. I think culturally, you might consider yourself a Christian, but by no means are you an actual Christian if you disagree with me. If you disagree with me, who's reading Bible verses, I'm not the problem here. It sounds like the Bible is, and you don't like it. Let's see. Next comment. Let's see. They're just all so bad. Let's see. I wouldn't put it past this man to also push hard on sexist gender roles and hate black people, because that's what true Christians are, right, man? These are just filthy, disgusting comments. I just don't get it. I have watched the whole video and will be respectful and open-minded in my question here. I am 13 years old and a daughter of 2 moms. Will Jesus consider the sin on me too? Will Jesus want me to stop loving my mothers? As a minor, I definitely do not want to leave the house yet, and I can feel my moms love me wholeheartedly, so I don't want to cut off relationship with them at all. If your solution to me is to tell them to repent, there's no way, because they are legally married in the Netherlands and both work in Pride Association in Amsterdam. I used to get really offended of people calling my family sinful on YouTube and didn't understand why, but now I'm rethinking everything. They are really good parents in my opinion. If you're wondering, I have 3 adopted siblings as well. I have a very happy childhood. Wow. Thank you, Georgina, for the comments. I would say, first of all, keep rethinking everything. That's a good thing. Keep, not necessarily, I guess that rethinking is searching for truth. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but through me. This is the only way to truth. True truth. Not my heart's truth. Here's what I'll say to this specific situation. Is the sin of your parents does not spread to the sin of you. Meaning, Jesus does not look at your parents' sin and punish you for it. How do I know this? Because there is a passage that actually talks about this in the Bible. I'm going to go to Ezekiel. Let me find it real quick. It's Ezekiel 18. And this whole chapter talks about how if a father... Actually, right here, I might as well read it. Verse 14. But if this man has a son who sees all the sins that his father has done, considers and does not do likewise, who does not eat up on the mountains or lift his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, blah, blah, blah. He shall not die for the father's iniquity. So it's very explicit in the Bible, very basic, that the sins of your parents will not be passed down to you. The consequences definitely will be. Now you have 2 moms. That's not a good situation. Why? Very basic. You are lacking a father. Men and women are very different. You are lacking a male father figure. That is a consequence. But will you pay eternally for the sins of your parents? No. You pay for your own sins. So I hope that will give you a little bit of sense of relief that your parents' sins will not be sent down to you. You don't have to pay for them. You will have consequences from them because that's earthly. You will have earthly consequences. But really, there's not a lot you can do here. One thing that you can do is keep asking questions, pursue God, read the Bible, get into a church. Get to a church, find mentorship. If you want to call me, call me. Join the Discord. I want to talk to people. I don't know if I said that already yet, but like I said, hopefully earlier, I'm very accessible. I want to answer questions. Like I said, I am doing this for you guys because I actually do care. And maybe someday you'll see me just like you guys see Ryan as this loving Christian, and it'll all make sense. But yeah, Georgina, that is a very difficult situation. I'm sure there's nothing really you can do. You can't legally leave, not till you're however old in the Netherlands or Amsterdam. Yeah. So please keep praying. There's no question too big for God. He can answer any question. You don't have to pay for the sins of your parents. And I hope you actually get to this part of the video. Actually, I'll reply that right now. I'm answering this in the next video. Reply. All right. Let's see if there's any other comments before I go. This is a live show as well. So anyone who's watching live, please ask any questions. Now is your only chance before I get into my last question and then the outro. Let's see. This one here. Remember, kids, keep sinning or else Jesus died for nothing. Dude, straight up, you're going to burn in hell. But you think I'm kidding? You think this is some sort of sick joke? Some kind of funny joke? I don't think you understand the concept of a perfect and holy God who doomed the entire human race over the sin of one man. One man sinned, and because of that, all of us are doomed. Can you comprehend that? That a perfect and holy and just God cannot stand sin. He gave us the option to. We're not just robots, you know, we still have this little bit of free will. I mean, it's a whole nother conversation, but oh my goodness, dude. Keep sinning or else Jesus died for nothing. Just so disgusting. So disgusting. How dare you? I'm going to keep you around. I don't ban people yet because the more you guys comment, the more views I get. So really, it's a win-win. That looks like it was the last comment of the day. So I'm going to get into the outro here. Thank you guys for being patient with me making videos. Like I said, I've been working a lot. It's very difficult to make videos as much as I want to. But I've not given up on the dream of one day being the most famous man in the world for Christian commentary and biblical worldview. That's kind of a joke. If you guys don't get my sense of humor yet, you never will. That's just honestly true. I want to thank my Patreon supporters and my Twitch subscribers and everyone on the Discord. Thank you guys for being an awesome community. The Discord is popping off. It is busy. People are talking in voice channels every single night, hanging out, playing games, playing Jackbox, talking. It's great. It's an actual community. You can join it right now. If you click the link in the description, I want you there at my Discord. You can ask me questions. I'm, like I said, easy to reach. So please join now, the Discord, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next, I guess, episode. This was a podcast. So I'm back, baby. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.